Good morning. This is the start of my reading like Jan for a week vlog. So, I was inspired to do this vlog by the Patreon exclusive, I'm sorry for my hair, wow, the Patreon exclusive weekend readathon where we read books that Jan loves, or books that made us think of Jan. So I'm reading books that Jan loves. I put 6 books on a spinner wheel. I let Ari spin the wheel 4 times because feasibly I can read at least 3 books in a week. But one of them is extremely long. Like one of them is like a full length fantasy book. So 4 books that she spun for. So my plan here is to read the shortest book to the longest book while reading the longest book during the entire week to see how far I can actually get into it. I have technically already started the longest book, but let me just explain what books we'll be reading. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. I have 5 minutes before I'm supposed to be on sprints, so let's go. So the first book that I will be reading is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. This is, I think it's technically considered a novella, but this book I think came out last year and was very, very popular. It was all over the place last year and I never read it. I don't know why I didn't buy it. Also, I don't know if this is a Jan thing or not, to be honest. I didn't research far enough. But I got most of these books from the library or Kindle Unlimited. Actually, all of these books are from the library or Kindle Unlimited. So, thank you for that. So, the first one I'll be reading is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. I also don't know a lot about any of these books, if I'm being honest. Yeah, don't know a lot about any of these books. So that's really all that I know about that one. But I do know that it was super popular last year. Everyone was reading it. I obviously did not read it. But there you are. So I'm going to be reading that first because it's the shortest book. It's under 200 pages. I believe when I looked on Amazon, the Kindle version of it is under 200 pages. So I feel like I can read it pretty quickly. Like, I don't think it's going to take me forever to read. So we're starting with that one. Then we are moving on to The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. This book is Rachel Hawkins' newest novel, I believe. I've read The Wife Upstairs, and I've also read Reckless Girls by her. I believe I gave The Wife Upstairs 4 stars, and I gave Reckless Girls, I know for a fact, 5 stars, which I actually got an Arco a couple of years ago. So very excited for this one. Then I have 2 books technically that I could read for this next one. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick. I might just have like an extra audiobook if I need one. So I guess technically there are 5 books in here. We're just gonna talk about all of them. So the next one that I have is Hellbent. This is the second book this is the book after Ninth House. I believe this is a duology. There could be more books coming. I don't know. As far as I know, it's a duology. I read Ninth House a couple of months ago with my friend Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading. So I do need to move on to Hellbent. I do have this on audio on my phone, bought, because after we read Ninth House, I immediately bought Hellbent. Like immediately. Like I just purchased it. So that one. Then also as an audiobook, which I have from the library, this is the cover that they have at the library. I know there's a secondary cover, but I also have Dowry of Blood, which I believe was also on her list. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure this was also on her list. So I would also like to get to Diary of Blood. It's only a 5-hour audio, and I listen to audios sped up most of the time. So I may also try to fit this in. But one of the two of those will be fit in. Then the last book and the longest book that I will be reading I have from Kindle Unlimited, and this does not have an audiobook. So I've already technically started this, but it is Fear the Flames. This is everything I wanted Fourth Wing to be, which, fun fact, I will be finishing Fourth Wing this month. Because it was picked for a different vlog that we're not going to talk about here. But Fear the Flames, I'm going to be reading this as well. This is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm about 5% into this. I think I'm like 5 chapters in. So I've technically started this, and I will be reading Fear the Flames throughout the week with the other books. So those are all the books. I have to go start sprints right now, but I will see you when I go downstairs to make a coffee. Hello from my kitchen. All right, so I have officially started sprint for Mid-Year Scramble. That's just part of this vlog as well. And I read the prologue of Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. So I'm now going to be making coffee. I feel like Jan would go to Dunkin', but girl don't have Dunkin' money today. So we're going to make homemade coffee at home, but it is iced. It is not butter pecan. It is vanilla. So, you know, we're thriving here. We're thriving and jiving. All right, so I guess I'll show some B-roll of coffee. Hello. So, an update. I finished Long Live the Pumpkin Queen last night while I was at work. I ended up listening to the audiobook. So I did the first few chapters as an ebook from my library on my Kindle. This is clearly not that book. And then I listened to the rest of it as audio. I would 100% recommend the audiobook. I don't know who narrates it, but the narrator sounds just like Sally from the movie, and I was just like amazed. Gave this book 6-star rating. So this book, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, is literally in the running against Magnolia Parks for my best book of 2023 so far. Honestly, they're tied. But like for different, like, because they were both 6 stars, and I gave them 6 stars, and they're the best book of my year for different reasons that I can't like differentiate. Like I can't say like this one was better for this reason. So 6 stars, absolutely loved it. We're moving forward in this Jan vlog. So the next book that I am going to pick up for this vlog, I went ahead and used my spinner wheel. So I'm actually going to be doing 2 books at a time. So I have The Villa as an ebook from the library, so I will be doing The Villa on my Kindle. And then I have 2 books that are audio books. So the 2 books that I have for audio are Hellbent and Diary of Blood. So when I went ahead and did like my random pick. Dowry of Blood is what won. So this is, oops. This is the cover that my library has for the audio for Dowry of Blood, which is why this is the cover that I grabbed. I'm probably going to start Dowry of Blood at work tonight, and then The Villa I will be starting as soon as I catch up in the pages for my book club for a different book. But those are the next 2 books on my list. So I will be doing The Villa with my eyes on ebook and Dowry of Blood with my ears on audio. All right, so I am home from work. I don't even know what time, to be honest. I don't know, like 4:30 probably, 4:40 in the morning. I am 50% through A Dowry of Blood. My thoughts on this. I'm not a fan of flowery writing, and this book is very flowery, but the story itself is good. Like, I'm really enjoying the actual like story itself. So as of right now, 50% through, I'm gonna say it's probably a 5-star or a 4-star. I don't think it'll be a 5 for me, but I am enjoying it. So I will probably be finishing that tomorrow or later today rather, and then I will be also starting The Villa later today as well. So that's where we are. 50% through Dowry of Blood. I'm listening to it as an audio, which I think is good. I don't think I would enjoy it reading it with my eyes. If I'm being honest, I think I would have given up on trying to follow what was happening. But yeah, so we're gonna start The Villa. I may actually start The Villa when I lay down to go to bed. I'm about to go take a shower and then I'm gonna lay down and go to sleep. So I may start The Villa when I lay down. If I do that, then I'll update like later on when I get up for the day. But that's all I have. That's all I've got. So yeah, that's it. So when I've read some of The Villa, I will update again, or when I've finished A Dowry of Blood. Hello. So I finished Dowry of Blood tonight while I was at work. I don't know what this is, sorry. While I was at work. So originally I was going to give it 4.5, between 4 and 4.5 stars. But on thought, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Let me explain my thought process here. So I am not like a classics girly. I have never read Dracula. Like, I know the story of Dracula, because don't we all? But I've never actually read Dracula. I'm also not a classics girly because I don't love lyrical writing. So I've only read a few classics that I actually enjoyed. But like I said, I've never read Dracula. So A Dowry of Blood is a Dracula's Wives retelling, which was interesting to me. But when I started this book, I did it with the audio, which I think saved me. I think I said that in the last clip. And I was like, I don't love the lyricalness, okay? But this book is real gay, first of all. Second of all, the story itself was really, really good. So I'm giving it 5 stars. It's not like a perfect book to me, but it definitely gave me that 5-star feeling. So Dowry of Blood is done. I've also started The Villa. I'm not very far into this book at all. I'll tell you how far. Hold on. 2%. Okay, I just started it, but I did read a little bit of the first chapter of The Villa at work. So I'm going to be moving forward with The Villa. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to read Hellbent in this or not, because I don't know yet. I don't know. I think I might want to sit with Hellbent a bit longer than what I'm going to be able to if I do it for this vlog. I have read Ninth House and I truly enjoyed it. It was top tier. The problem that I'm having is I don't know if I need to reread Hellbent before I move on to, or reread Ninth House before I move on to Hellbent, because it's been a few months. And if you've been here for a while, you know that I read books and then promptly forget them. So we're going to move on to The Villa. I am also slowly working on Fear the Flame. But I don't think I'm going to get Fear the Flames done in this vlog, because I only have a few days left of doing this vlog. So it is currently Thursday, technically now. It is Thursday. It's like 5 in the morning, because I have work. So I only have really until Saturday to finish this. Like, this vlog needs to be done by by the time I go to work at 8 p.m. on Saturday, because this is going to be my first official premiere on my channel at noon on Sunday. So that's where we are. So I'm going to try to get the villa done between now and then we're going to call it like good, because that's 3 books, I think. Because so I've done Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, and I've done Diary of Blood. So if I can get the villa done, that's 3 books in like a week. I know I said like 5. I'm trying to see what other one I said, because I know there was another one other than Hellbent, and I'm blanking at the moment. Okay, so yeah, so the 5 books were Fear the Flames, The Villa, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, Hellbent, and Diary of Blood. Now, I may choose to do Hellbent. Unfortunately, Fear the Flames doesn't have an audio. But I mean, it's possible I could get Fear the Flames done if I like really read tomorrow and Friday, but we'll see. Or later today, technically, and Friday, but we'll see. So I'll check in when I've gotten a chunk of the villa read. I really don't know what this book is about. I didn't read the synopsis. I don't read the synopsis on anything, to be honest. So I don't know what this book is about. I know it's different than any other book that Rachel Hawkins has written, or at least that's what I'm being told by other people that have read it. So far, it's fine, but nothing's really happened yet. So I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm tired, and I will check in when I wake up. Hello. This is really weird, like lighting, but sorry, my ring light is like in front of me and at an angle. But I am 57% through Divine Rivals. So I do know that in the last clip I said that I was going to be starting the villa. I did start it. I got, I think, 10-ish% in. I'm not really feeling the vibe right now. So I'm putting it on the back burner. I will come back to it at some point, just not in this vlog. So I decided to go ahead and pick up Divine Rivals. I grabbed the audiobook off of Audible, so I've been going back and forth between Audible and my Kindle. Absolutely love this book. The only way this book is not going to be a 5-star is if the end does something crazy, but as of right now, it feels like a 5-star to me, and we're 57% through. Absolutely loving this. This is a like a young adult, new adult romantic fantasy, so a romantasy, and we are following Iris. We are following our main characters, Iris, Winnow, and Roman Kit, and they are divine rivals, okay? But they are rival journalists. There's like magic in this world. They end up like going and becoming like war reporters. Like, it's like a whole thing, war journalists. It's so cool. Like, this book is wonderful. So that is where I am. When I have finished this book, I will do another update, and then that will probably be the wrap up as well. Hello. So it's been literal days. Also, keep the Jan merch here. Okay. So it's been literal days. A lot has been happening over here, but I never made a close out clip for this vlog. So I did end up finishing Divine Rivals probably like 2 or 3 days ago now. I am giving this book 6 stars. It has knocked Magnolia Parks out of the running as my favorite book of the year. This book was top tier. I absolutely loved it. Cannot wait for the second book. Do you hear me? I plan on doing a reread of this book like super soon, but I have some vlogs and stuff that I have to make first. So wanted to come on here and just run through all of the books and ratings that I read in this vlog. So the first book that I read was Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. This is a, not really a retelling, but more of a Nightmare Before Christmas continuation where we follow Sally. I gave this book 6 stars. It is one of my top books of the year. It's like literally tied with Magnolia Parks. The next book that I read was A Dowry of Blood. I was back and forth about my rating on this one, but I landed on 5 stars. The story was wonderful. The gayness in this book, top tier. French kiss. Makes me want to actually go like read Dracula the Classic. I will say that the writing was a bit flowery for me, but it reads like a classic. So I feel like that's why the writing was flowery. And the last and final book that I ended up reading for this vlog was not the book that I said I was going to read, but was in fact Divine Rivals. Please go get this book off Kindle Unlimited if you are subscribed to Kindle Unlimited, because you can get it right now on KU, the ebook on KU. It is worth it. I love this book. It was 6 stars, not even 5 stars. It was 6 stars. Best book that I've read this year. So that's all I have for y'all for this vlog. I hope that you enjoyed watching me read like Jan this week. I honestly need to just read every book that Jan likes, recommends, literally. If Jan gives me a recommendation, I'm reading it, which there will be a future video where I'm comparing 2 books, one of which I've read but Jan DNF'd, and one which I have not read but Jan, I believe, gave 5 stars. So thank you so much for watching. Also, if you caught this as a premiere, thank you so much for hanging out with me for my first ever premiere on this channel. And if you're catching the replay, go ahead and down below leave me some kind of Halloween emoji, because we know that Jan is the queen of all things dark and spooky. Leave me a bat, leave me a jack-o'-lantern, leave me a ghost, leave me something that reminds you of Halloween. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.